What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward as we have some economic data coming out, not to mention some news about Tesla as we're seeing a lot of headlines also coming out. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you guarantee 20 free stocks. And it's offer ends tomorrow, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, for Tesla, I just wanted to mention that right now, Tesla is actually outperforming the market. We're up 1% despite SPY and the QQQ being kind of in the red. And Tesla is attempting to bounce right here. It's very good as we based at this 180 area. I mentioned to everyone in the morning, I'm seeing a little push coming to Tesla, and that's what we're getting thus far. The question is, what's going to happen with this moving forward? What else is going to affect Tesla? And what should we be watching for at least as time goes on? So, as a reminder, okay, for our very, very important economic data, we have new home sales that just came out. There's not really a whole lot else that's very important. Most of the data for the day is out. The PMI report was actually showing some strength, at least for services, but other sectors are actually very close to expectations. So far, the data looks so. The market kind of dipped a bit only to get bought back up. And the market's still down a bit, but Tesla's still building some strength and still holding up. Market has also slipped a bit as Nvidia is struggling for a second day in a row. This is exactly what we predicted would likely happen in my earlier videos. As far as Tesla goes, there's been a lot of talk from Barclays. They're coming out as well, and they're saying that we have to be very cautious for Q2. At least for Tesla, they have an equal weight rating with a price target of $180 per share. And they also expect this, they just give their expectations for deliveries. They're expecting about 450,000 deliveries. That's going to be an improvement over the previous quarter. It's also going to be significantly lower than what we saw last year, lower than what the consensus was as well. So they're not really expecting the strongest numbers for Q2. There's also been a lot of talk about how Tesla, didn't have the strongest sales in April. And that is true. EV sales were technically up in April. Other companies like Ford did relatively well, but Tesla's sales were down just a bit for that month alone. However, that's not really enough to convince me or to turn me into like, a big bear on Tesla or anything like that. I believe that we have to wait and see what happens with their deliveries data in just about 10 days from now. So I would rather just wait for the data. I'd rather wait to see what happens in the next 9 to 10 days when Tesla gives us the announcement on how its deliveries look, instead of just assuming that their sales are going to be bad, at least from the beginning. So, do I see some data that suggests that their sales are going to be a little soft? Yes, I do. I'm going to be 100% honest. The Chinese sales are not looking the strongest. They're close to what we saw during like previous years, but they're not as close to what many Tesla investors would want. But that's once again what we expect, because no one's expecting Tesla sales to explode this quickly. It's going to take some time amidst the high interest rate environment. But for the long term, we're still very bullish because of all the AI talk and what Tesla's developing for the robotaxi. And we have a big event coming out within 1.5 months, so I can't wait for that. As a reminder for SPY, we saw the options chain get adjusted. I'm just going to reload this just so that it's accurate. But I just wanted to say we have about now. We saw a lot of these calls being closed. We have 3.5 plus million puts expiring, and we have over 650,000 calls expiring. We have a 542 max pain with 5.56 being our put to call ratio. So I'll be watching to see how things end up developing right here. But I just wanted to say, as far as Tesla goes, as far as the market goes, we're holding the support very nicely. We actually held 180 and we're trying to rebound a bit. I'll be looking at 183 as this resistance. You can see Tesla's been kind of fighting right here. If we manage to hold above this, we could be looking for a move all the way up towards 185 plus going into next week if we do close above 183. And we're kind of stuck between this resistance and supply. I'm seeing some strength building on Tesla, and there's potential to go even higher later on as long as we hold this level. So I'm seeing Tesla building some strength right here. There is more upside potential, but I have to watch and see what happens for a close. Overall, not bad from Tesla whatsoever. And then when you zoom out of Tesla and go to like the 4-hour time frame, you'll also notice that Tesla has a nice accumulation structure. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders that's developing right just like this. And this is looking pretty good, at least for Tesla, in my opinion. So far, we're holding it very well, especially as we approach deliveries. So it's looking bullish. Let's hope that things are decent for them, and we'll see how things end up going. But so far, so good for the stock. Now, for SPY, on the other hand, SPY has dipped a little bit, and now we're actually trying to make our way back towards this support. Now we're at a very, very critical level, because when I bring up the 30 minutes time frame, what you will see is that SPY is trying to hold its 200 EMA. This is currently at 544 exactly. If we lose this or close below this, I'm expecting 542 flat. If we manage to hold above this, I'll be looking for, if we do get all the way up to our 20 EMA, 545.3, we got to try to break through that to start filling this gap. So I'll be watching, see which way we break. Do we break past 545.3 or do we end up losing 544? Losing 544 is more bearish. Breaking 545.3 is a little bit more bullish. We're kind of stuck for now. But just be careful, guys. I'm seeing some momentum building. We're kind of range bound, but there is still a risk of downside, especially because max pain's at 542. So just wait, watch your levels, and see which way we break. That's going to be pivotal for how we end up moving going forward. Nvidia is on a bit of a downtrend right over here. I'm going to actually hide this. We've been downtrending quite a bit on Nvidia. We came down to my target of 125. Now we're trying to rebound a bit. This is helping the market kind of bounce a little bit. Make sure you watch resistance close to 128.8. That's going to be pivotal for them, not to mention 127.5. Those are two supports. If we break 128.8, we'll be looking at 130. And if we reject you, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 125. So overall, I think that there's a downtrend on Nvidia, but there is a good chance that Nvidia could, try to hold up for now since we already, came down to 125. So I'm seeing some life on Nvidia, but just know that we'll have to see how it reacts to 128.8 if we break this or not to get back above 130. So watch that very, very carefully. I'm going to double check this. The QQQ, we're just trading sideways right now between our key EMAs. Watch supports at 479 to 480. Watch resistance at 481.19. Those are our key EMAs. So we'll just have to give this some time just to see how this ends up moving. But because we're stuck between these levels, just give it time and be very, very patient. As of right now, we're just kind of range bound. So give this the time it needs and do what you have to do. For a few more out there, I just want to say that Apple's also trying to rebound a bit. Make sure you watch resistance at 211. If this breaks, watch 212.5. If we lose 210, we'll be dipping all the way down to like 208. So I'm seeing some potential for a little rebound. We're trading sideways right now, so I can't wait to see how this develops. But for now, Apple is just trying to make its way up a little higher. It could try to actually break this EMA. So watch 211.25 and then 212 as our resistances. We're still stuck kind of trading sideways. If we lose 210, we'll be dipping lower. So we're still stuck. So give it the time it needs. For a few more out there, we also have Coinbase. Coinbase is just kind of dipping a bit. In my personal opinion, I think that there is a risk of this dipping even lower if we don't hold support at 222. But we already made the full measured move, so it might just kind of shuffle in this area. But just know that the trend is still bearish. It may just shuffle temporarily, but the trend is still kind of bearish looking. Amazon is just on a bit of an uptrend. We have a nice looking cup and handle like structure. We reached the target of 188, so there's a nice cup forming here. Look for a little dip for maybe to form a handle or something like that, but overall it's looking pretty nice. For Meta is also holding up decently. Nice little pump and dump like move. Make sure you watch support currently at 496, and we have resistance at 500. I think we're going to be range bound for now, but there is a risk of some downside if we fail to hold that support. Just a few more. Microsoft is trying to push higher. We could be going up to about 448. If that breaks, we'll be going up to 450. And if we lose support at 445, we'll be dipping all the way down to about 442. For Google's actually breaking out now. We're trying to invalidate this head and shoulders. That was actually a trap for retail. You guys could see that because people saw like a head and shoulders. They started shorting Google like crazy. Instead of dumping, they pumped Google right back up. So a lot of head and shoulders this year, a lot of the head and shoulders are not really working as well as they used to. So you guys could really see how there's manipulation in this market. So that's what's been very, very common. As far as Bitcoin goes, Bitcoin is also on a bit of a dip. We'll be watching resistance currently around 64,500. Look for a little rebound right now as the market's trying to pump a bit, so we'll see how things go. Anyways, guys, be very patient. Let's see how well SPY tries to break above its 20 EMA. If we break this or not, we could try to rebound. I'll be watching this, so be patient and see if we can try to get a break or not. But so far, so good, at least from the markets. We're still kind of in this range, so I'm going to be very patient for now, and then we'll see how things end up going. For Tesla, it's still looking pretty good, holding up relatively well, and still holding support. So we'll have to see if this could continue to try to push higher. So not bad from Tesla. We'll see how things go, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day, and peace out.